Hey, what is good, gamers? Hope you're having a great day out there. This is Squirrely. Thank you so much for joining me as always. In this video, I'm going to go over 5 things that I believe would absolutely, without a doubt, not only enhance but dramatically improve the TF2 Casual experience as it lives right now. One thing to keep in mind though, very important, is the list that I built here is things that I think are actually very reasonable, considering it's Valve. So these are honestly more like enhancements or features that could be enabled, because the things I'm going to mention, 4 out of the 5 things on here are so easy to implement, and we actually see Valve implement them in other parts or other aspects of the game. And so it's not like there's something you have to code from scratch or flip an overhaul, right? I'm not talking about major changes like removing random crits, removing auto balance, or removing sniper, things that are like never going to happen probably. Also things like handling the bots and the cheaters and dealing with all that. That's a whole other separate topic. That's obviously the number one thing we would all like to see handled. So these are more features or enhancements that I think would really benefit the game, and Valve could honestly flip a switch and make most of these happen right away. Alright, so let's get into it with the first one on here, which is personally probably my favorite on this entire list. I would love to see this change happen. I think it's very easy for them to do, and that would be letting people in lobbies pick their server locations. That's it. What this would essentially do is allow you to play with other friends who don't have to live like directly near you within your region. As for me right now, I'm on the West Coast, so if I'm in a 6-stack, a lobby full of friends, if I have one person in that lobby who's not also on the West Coast, we're just never going to find a game. If we have one person out of 6 who's from even Central or definitely the East Coast, we're going to get stuck in a queue for forever. And if we do find a game, 9 out of 10 times it pushes all of us to Virginia. So now you have 5 people with like 110 ping, and you have one person with like 35 ping. And it's just miserable for everybody, because that person with low ping feels bad, and the other people are just lagging and they don't want to, play the game anymore. So if you could just pick your location, for the United States, there's only 3 locations. That way I could play with friends on the East Coast friends could play on the West Coast, and even if I'm solo queuing, I don't mind playing on the East Coast just to get different, competition and players. I wish I could do that. I don't have that option right now. Now, I could see people abusing this and joining different countries, so Valve would have to figure something out. Maybe just any country that has multiple locations within that country, you can pick it or whatever, because having a ping slider that goes up to like 300, 350 ping, it's like, who's going to use that? Everyone wants low ping, but there's a range. Some people do not mind playing with like 100 ping or 80 ping or whatever, but forcing people to stick to their region, otherwise you never find a game, is just a big bummer. Number 2 on my list is something that you already see in a lot of community service. Actually, it's a nice little plugin or feature, whatever you want to call it. It's just showing the stats for the losing team after a game or after a round. So instead of just showing, the top 3 players for the winning team and that's it, the other team gets like no credit. So to me, if I'm a newer player, I want to see how I did. If I played well, I want to get some credit for that. Feel like I'm making progress. It's kind of more like a positive feedback loop. If I'm playing medic on a team that's getting rolled, I feel a little bit better, like I did something. If I'm like top 3, like, hey, I did a lot of healing. Or if I'm an engineer and I really helped my team, but we still lost, it just feels so much better to give people some credit, even though they lost. And especially since it's casual, it's like, who cares if you win or lose? I understand that, but then why not show the losing team's credit, their points, a little bit more? So maybe you could, extrapolate this to stopwatch timer, right? At the end of the game, it shows the winning team's stopwatch time or something like that, but you let the game keep going. Not like normal stopwatch where just the game ends, but having maybe it count the time, and when the game's completely over, it shows the winning team's time. Just maybe something like that as well. But definitely, at least for the top 3, I think would be a nice addition, because I always want to know how I did personally when my team loses in casual. Number 3 on my list is something that I don't personally mind the way it sits right now in casual, but I know a lot of people would really want this feature, and they would always use it, and that's allowing people to not join games in progress. I would assume this option is pretty easy to push over to casual, because we already have it in man vs. machine, and a lot of people like to use it. If you're playing by yourself, so you might want to join a game in progress, hopefully they're on the last wave, and you can win really quick and get it over with and get your loot, and some people want to be in a lobby, start over fresh from the very beginning. I see the reason for both. But in casual, it's a little bit different, because the whole goal of casual is just to fill up servers, to keep the game going, to keep people playing, and sometimes it's really hard to find your favorite map, and when you finally do, if it's not full or starting from scratch, you're just doomed. So I think it's important to let people join servers and fill up. Sometimes you finally get to your favorite map and it's half full, and then if no one ever joins because they're using this feature, now you're just kind of stuck in a half full server, and then it's just going to die. So maybe if it's preferred, prefer to join games not in progress, and it's going to try really hard, and if it can't get you into one, then it's going to push you into one in progress. Maybe that I can understand, but overall, this is a feature I know a lot of people would use, is never join a game in progress, but personally, I'm okay either way. Number 4, I think is something that would be really, really fun, and it's kind of a flashback to the old days. If you guys remember, long time ago, if your friend was in a casual server, you could join off their server in their Steam friends list, and then you could also join the other team. You could also spectate and do other things as well, but you could join the other team against your friend or your friends and duel each other and do, pocket duels or sniper duels or whatever you want to do, and it was a lot of fun. As it sits right now, there's a check mark in the Valve matchmaking system to split up your lobby or keep your lobby together, and they've never enabled it forever. I don't know how many years it's been. It's just been sitting there. So if they would enable that or give you some kind of feature to split up your lobby or pick teams or whatever, that would be so much fun because I like playing with my friends, but the bigger the lobby gets, the harder it is to find games, the more roles there are, the more stacks. So if I'm in a stacked lobby, I'm just going to goof around and off class and play silly loadouts probably because it's kind of no fun stomping people. But if you can split up a lobby, 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3, 1 versus 1, whatever, that just would make it so much more interesting. Now, I could see there'd be issues with balancing, right? I could see people like having a full lobby who sticks together and another lobby who splits up, and now you have like 9 good players against like 3 good players technically. That would cause some issues, but I don't know, maybe on the back end they could figure it out with the matchmaking system, but being able to split up your lobby or play against your friends again, I think would be pretty fun. All right, and number 5 on my list, the last thing on here before I get down into the honorable mentions. This last one, I'm definitely shooting for the stars. This is wishful thinking. This would be a lot of work on Valve's end, which is why I don't think it's going to happen. But if it could happen and they made it work well, it would just be tremendous. It would make casual so much more fun and interesting, and you constantly have more variety and something to look forward to. And that is adding a map section in the casual list for like community maps or some kind of rotation of maps that you don't normally get to play. So maybe it's community maps, custom maps, whatever. Maybe it's holiday maps, maybe it's just uncommon maps you don't get to play a year round for whatever reason, arena maps, whatever. Find out a way to just get this rotation going of maps. That way you always have something different you can play. And who knows, maybe they could do stamps, they could do special items, some kind of way to give back to the creators and, have people vote to get what maps get in there. They could help with the testing, like whatever. There could be a way to make it work where there's always some fresh variety of new maps that are coming out, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever. That way you're not stuck with your regular list of TF2 maps and that's it. This to me would be so much fun. And maybe if people really, really love it, they get added to the game. Kind of like how we saw with Pier. They had so much attention and so much love that actually got added to the official TF2 map list. So having a community section of maps that are vetted, or maybe just off-season maps, like I said, holiday maps, event maps, whatever, would always give you something fun to look forward to that you could play. And I would assume they would be very, very popular. Personally, as much as I love Dust Bowl and Badwater and Snowy Coast and Harvest and all these other classic maps, even I get a little bit tired of them sometimes, and I want to just try something different, try something new, whether it's a community map or beta tested map for Valve that they haven't officially released yet, like we've seen an RD Asteroid. If there's some kind of category where we can help beta test maps or play old holiday maps or just try new community maps for whatever, just figure it out. That to me, having a fresh rotation of different maps would be so much fun. All right, well, that's going to wrap up my top 5 list. 4 of them are features I think it'd be super easy to enable and turn on and would have a big impact. And obviously, the 5th one, the last one, is wishful thinking. That's kind of shooting for the stars. But anything we get of those 5, I think would be really, really nice to have. But I also have some honorable mentions. So these are things that didn't really make the cut, but I figured I would share with you too. First honorable mention on my list is increasing the current max level for casual mode. So as of right now, once you get to tier 8, level 150, you're done. You don't get credit for anything, even though you still get XP after games. But some people, they want to always make progress. They want to, get credit for XP, the games they play. So maybe either increase the tier level like a lot higher, so that way it's going to take, like 10,000 hours of casual to fully max out. Or maybe they're just going to add, prestige. So you max out, start over, max out, start over, and you get prestige 2, 3, 4, 5. So, some people play a lot of casual and they just want to get credit for all that. I think it's kind of interesting idea to think about, and it's pretty harmless if they did it. Number 2 honorable mention is I thought about maybe giving badges or awards like they do in competitive mode for casual. So like at the end of a game, you get a little badge, a little sparkle award for top damage, most frags, most healing, whatever. I understand why they don't have this because a lot of games people don't play from start to end. People join late or have a pocket medic, or people just can play goofy ways to like make sure they get an award. The award is just, completely cosmetic. It means nothing. It does nothing. Maybe you get like a little XP bonus or something. I don't know, but I don't think it's a great idea, but it's interesting. I wouldn't mind either way if they added this because people already play casual how they want to play. Some people will be sweaty no matter what. Some people are going to goof around no matter what. So I think it's harmless, but I understand why they do want to add this to casual. All right, well, that is going to wrap it up for me. Thank you guys so much for joining me as always. Don't forget down below in the comments to let me know your thoughts and ideas on my top 5 list, my honorable mentions, or if you have any of your own to add to the list. I would love to hear from you guys. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you in casual soon, without bots, without cheaters. That would be great. But there's some other features and enhancements that I listed that I think would make it a lot more fun to play casual with friends or with strangers. So take care, you guys. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more videos from me. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you soon in the next video. Peace.
Help me! Let's go! Back your bloody call! On 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no!